Salutations one and all, and to one and all salutations. My name is Speedy of Terror Productions, and you join me not in my seat. Mainly so that I could get this shot. But this is the day, ladies and gentlemen. We are going from one extreme to the other. What you see before you, ladies and gentlemen, is the Nerf N-Strike Elite Mega Magnus. And in turn, the 4th episode of Speedy's Got Some Nerf. Now, before we go further into this episode, I'd want to apologise hugely for the huge gap between episode 3 and episode 4. I really do apologise for that. It's just I've had a lot of financial difficulties in the past few months, and given that I haven't gotten anywhere in relation of a garage taking me on as an apprenticeship, and me now planning on going back to college, my life's pretty much been all over the shop. And for it I do apologise. But yes, here it is. The Mega Magnus from the Nerf N-Strike Elite Mega Subline. So as you can see, starting off with the box, you get a big open frame box that allows you to have a good close-up look at the gun and to feel it. As you can see here on the box, N-Strike Mega, N-Strike Elite, Magnus, Elite, 22 meters, Mega Power, and then every translation on the face of the earth for power. Then down here in the bottom left, you've got a picture of the Nerf model displaying the Magnus. Ages 8 and up. I'm 8 and up. Yay! So there's that. Now, before I carry on with the breakdown of the box, the one thing you may notice is that this blaster has a grey trigger. Allow me to explain why that is. With the first 3 blasters we had a look at in Speedy's Got Some Nerf, the more recent one being the Strong Arm, as you can see, the trigger is orange. And it's the same story for the Fire Strike and the Jolt. Now, the reason why the Magnus has got a grey trigger as opposed to an orange trigger is very simple. There are basically 2 variations, 2 firing power levels, and what Hasbro, I do apologise, what Hasbro do to try and counter all the health and safety laws globally is they reduce the power output of the blaster, and those with the lower power output usually have the grey triggers. And the UK was one such country to get the grey trigger variant of the Magnus. The orange trigger variant can probably be bought and shipped into the UK via Amazon and eBay. But, you know, I personally didn't want to wait for shipping and postage and so on, especially given how that would have pushed the scheduling for the episode back even further. Anyways, ranting and raving over with. As you can see on the box, you get a picture of the new ammo type, the Mega Whistler Dart. And then on the back of the box, you get a nice little breakdown. So you've got a nice picture of the blaster. You've got a picture of the 3 pellets. And then in this info panel here, unfortunately my camera won't focus on it. I tried that in a previous take. It says here in English, uses Mega Darts for Mega Distance. The first thing it points out is the top-loading internal clip. The second thing it points out is the ultra-fast reload with the Mega Whistler Darts. So, that is that, and then of course, warning. And then there's a little thing here saying, Magnus Blaster works with Mega Darts only, N-Strike Mega. So, yes. And there is pretty much the contents of the box. You get the blaster itself, and you also get the 3 Mega pellets. So, without further ado, ladies and gentle peoples, I believe it's time for an unboxing shot. Well, there's your problem. Whoops. Come on. Hey, there's one. I'm going to have to go out and buy me a new pair of scissors. Let's be honest, scissors are the most important thing in the office. Next to the sellotape. The infamous sellotape, of course. And then, back here. Hey, there we go. Can I not cut this tray out? Oh wait, out. I can rip it out. Come on. Hey! Cool. Okay, so here we are with all the box content for the N-Strike Elite Mega Magnus from Hasbro's Nerf division. As you can see in the box, you get the Magnus blaster itself, looking quite impressive actually in its mainly red and white livery. You also get your 3 Mega darts, or pellets as I like to call them. And they are what's known as whistler darts, hence the 3 holes in the tips of the pellets. And then you get your 2 pieces of paperwork. You get a little health and safety info sheet that we don't need, and you also get your little instructions sheet, which you don't really need. It's a pretty simple blaster to operate as the Magnus, I'll say that here and now. But like, you got P1 is your slide, P2 is your internal clip, and P3 is the trigger. Then on the back it just shows you how to load it, how to prime the blaster and so on. Now there is actually this little important safety note here, which came as a bit of a downer to me. Note, do not store the blaster cocked and ready to fire. So basically what Hasbro's Nerf division are trying to say, you don't need this by the way, not after reading that, but what they're trying to say is that you can store the blasters in the internal clip as so, but you can't put the slide back. And I can see their logic behind it, because if it was already loaded and primed, first thing someone would do, you know, the grip naturally goes around the handle, the index finger naturally goes to where the trigger is. If they squeeze too hard, the gun will unexpectedly discharge on them. And of course, well, we're all hoping for that to be a worst case scenario. Anyways, I'll just quickly get the Mega Pellets out of the way, and we shall quickly do some size comparisons with the 3 previous blasters that we have looked at so far on Speedy's Got Some Nerf. So there it is with the Jolt, and as you can see, the Magnus just completely dwarfs the Jolt in every sense of the word. Here it is with the Fire Strike, and the Fire Strike is actually a pretty well done size in comparison of the Magnus. It's about half the size of the Magnus, so yeah, that's not the end of the world in itself. And here we are with the Strong Arm. And the Strong Arm is basically the same size as the Magnus. So that's all pretty cool. Anyways, onto the pellets. Once again, here are the 3 pellets, or darts, depending on what you want to call them, that come with the Magnus. They are the Mega Darts, hence the red foam, as opposed to the blue foam that we're all too familiar with already with the N-Strike Elite pellets. And again, they are Whistler darts, hence the 3 holes in the tips. I'll just quickly get one out now so you can have a better look at it. There it is. It's your standard Mega clip sorry, not your standard mega clip, your standard mega pellet. Once again, you got the hole in here because it's supposed to channel a wave of air through the blaster, which gives it a whistle. Hence the term whistler dart. There it is. There's the opening. And here's something quite bizarre. N-Strike Elite pellet, N-Strike Mega pellet. With some gentle twisting, you can actually get an N-Strike Elite pellet into an N-Strike Mega pellet. It will go all the way in, but I have heard that once you've put an N-Strike Elite pellet all the way inside an N-Strike Mega pellet, they are a pain to retrieve. So let's just quickly give off a quick loading demonstration. You take the slide, you pull that back until this grey trigger becomes orange, and then you have these two securing flaps, which are on actually quite very resistant springs. What you do is you take the pellet, push the tip in first and then the body, slide the slide back over, and then you pull the trigger to fire the ammo. And as you can see, despite it being the grey trigger variant of the Magnus, it is a stupidly powerful blaster. I mean, that you all saw how quickly that pellet exited the muzzle of the blaster. That was stupid fast. Anyways, with that said and done, let's cut to the firing range and see how far this blaster will fire. And I only say that because for those of you who watched episode 3.5, you'll know that the fire strike got nearly 50 feet of range. It got about 49 feet of range when I shot it down the firing range, which is an immensely impressive distance, especially when you consider that the wind was blowing against the direction of the pellet. I am, however, and I will say this here and now, a bit worried that I am going to lose an N-Strike Elite Mega pellet or two. And I only say that because the Magnus has a rumoured distance of 22 metres. That's about 65 to 70 feet. And my firing range only goes up to 50 feet. It should be interesting to see the final outcome, however. Anyways, to the firing range! Hey! Alright, here we are. Backyard. Nice sunny day. Just what I've been waiting for. So that I can fire this bad boy. The Nerf N-Strike Elite Mega Magnus. Just to let you all know in case you've already forgotten in this episode. As you can see, the slide won't go back because I already have it primed. There's the firing range down there. Oh. You see, very nice sunny day here in Cardiff. How the rarities will never end. Right the way up there. Whoa. See where the front tyre of that bike is? That is where the 50-foot mark of this firing range resides. Now, apparently, the Mega Magnus has a firing range of 22 metres, which is about 70 feet. Put it this way, I'm getting ready to say goodbye to a couple of Nerf blasters today, or a couple of their darts at least. Okay, so here I am. Here is the blaster. There is the 0-foot mark. Say it with me, folks, just like the Olympics. Ooh. Okay, that went pretty far, actually. That went pretty far. That's actually the first time I've been able to hear it whistle. You heard like a sort of quiet whistle that sounded like a firework. It wasn't a firework. It was the pellet from the Magnus. 25 foot, 30 foot, 35. There is the 40-foot marker. And that is where the pellet landed. So that's about 42 foot, maybe 43, because there's the 45-foot marker, and then right up there is the 50-foot marker. I can't see any of them getting up to the 50-foot marker, which is, well, that's always a good thing, let's be honest. Anyways, back to the studio. So, overall, ladies and gentlemen, what do I think of the Nerf N-Strike Elite Mega Magnus? Honestly, despite all the rumoured flaws that the blaster has had, I thankfully haven't suffered from any of them, which is always a good thing. He is hoping that it doesn't. He is hoping. On the whole, however, it is a very good blaster, and for its size, it's actually remarkably cheap. You'll remember earlier in the video, I did a size comparison against the Jolt, the Firestrike, and the Strong Arm, and we saw that this blaster is about the same size as the Strong Arm. Now, I actually paid £12 for my Magnus at my local The Entertainer toy store here in Cardiff, so kudos to them for supplying me with the blaster. I'm not sponsored by them to say it, I just thought I'd give them a quick thank you shout out. Ain't nothing wrong with that in this day and age, surely not. But yes, on the whole, I think this blaster is actually very, very good. Would I recommend it? Definitely. As a starter gun for the Magnus line, this blaster is without a shadow of a doubt superb. It comes with 3 N-Strike Elite pellets, which is more than enough. It features an integrated clip. It has a huge tactical rail on the bottom of the blaster, as you can see here. And look at this thing, man. The colour scheme is friggin' awesome. So, bottom line, if I had to rate this gun out of 10, I would have to rate it a 9 out of 10, which is a very, very good rating if you ask me. But anyways, guys, that has been it for this episode of Speedy's Got Some Nerf. Join me in episode 5, where I take a look at the biggest Nerf blaster that Hasbro's Nerf division have ever released. The Nerf N-Strike Elite Mega Centurion. But until then, guys, thank you all very, very much for watching, and ta-ra!